Just wanted to take the time out to thank my family, friends, fans, and supporters of the HogOn movement. I really, really appreciate it. Today I've been working, a little tired, I ain't gonna lie to you, been having a lot going on. And you know how sometimes you get frustrated and you wonder how A is gonna get to D, and once you get to D, how you gonna make it to G, and you know what I mean? It's always a process, and it's always a blessing. It's always a blessing to have someone that you know that got your back. You know, even if you don't talk to them every day, even if you don't communicate all the time, even if you don't call or text, but you know they got your back. They got you in their prayers, and just when those moments come when you really be needing this and that, they show up like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Want to help out on this? Hey, let me help. I want to plant a seed on this. You know, it's just a blessing. It's a true blessing. I appreciate it. I most definitely will. I most definitely will. And I just wanted to take the time to thank everyone who support the channel, everyone who stopped by. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I would just want to thank everybody who shows up and share, likes the channel. Man, I really appreciate it. Like I say, my goal is to lead by example. You know, and getting your hog on is using what you got getting there. You know what I mean? It's not asking for handouts, but it's saying, hey, you know what? I want something so bad. I'm just gonna figure out in this little small spot right now. I'm gonna figure this out, and then as you get the building, you will be surprised how you will get some extra wood. You will get some extra metal. You'll get some extra this. It'll just start working because people are actually see your work ethics and see what you're doing. Appreciate it, man. Salute, man. I appreciate that, man. Hey, that's big, man, to say I'm the Master P of Arkansas, man. That's big because I look up to P. You know what I mean? So that's a big thing. And just honestly, man, I just want to just thank everybody, man, because at times when I get discouraged personally, when I be like saying, man, you know what? I'm done. You know, you always get those days. It's always someone that reach out on different levels who I have helped or encouraged on, different levels, on different platforms. Like it's crazy because one thing I've noticed, sometimes we try to create a situation. We say, hey, I'm gonna make this perfect photo. I'm gonna make this perfect video. I'm gonna make this perfect content and I'm gonna reach this person. And you don't reach nobody you trying to reach. And then I have learned that when you just say, hey, I feel this way, I'm just gonna express this. And you throw it out there and walk off and say, hey, I like this. I'm just express this. Those are the things that I have noticed that gets the most traction, gets the most penetration, is really helping someone because I'm sharing my personal journey. I'm not making it up. I'm not fabricating nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fabricator. I do fabricate things, but I'm not lying to you. I'm not like coming up with a made up strip every day. Like, oh, I'm just gonna come up with this. I'm just gonna nah. As I go, as I get it, as I learn, as I experience it, as I meet people, I just share. Especially when I meet good people. Sometimes doors open. Like the one time I shared when I got the door open at this one business where I got in and got my targets in. Then, about a couple weeks later, they called and like, hey, things didn't go really good, you come and pick them up. So I went up there and just got them. All right, cool. And then I sold the one that I had that was in there. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes things happen, but that's cool though. We need to see that, hey, sometimes you're gonna get a door slam and you're gonna have to open up another door. And that's what I want to do with the cafe. Like that's why I'm really, really working on having me a small spot starting out. And then I'm gonna expand. But I need something to start out with. And I just wanna lead by example and show that hey, I started from the desert. I started from this. I created it off the concrete, off the out the dirt, and then I built a fab box, and then I, just kept going. You know what I mean? So even this little situation, everybody seen me get here. Like, don't nothing come overnight. And I know sometimes we see these stories and we see these riches and we see things and we're like, oh man, this gonna come like this. It ain't gonna happen like that all the time. You're gonna have to grind for it. You're gonna have to put back. You're gonna have to save. You're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to stumble. You're gonna have to say, you know what? I ain't gonna spend that like that no more. You're gonna have to realize and value things differently. You're gonna have to be a good stewardess of the money once you do get it. Because see, sometimes we can get things immaturely. Like if I'd have got it 10 years ago, I'd have messed it off in different ways and thinking I had to have this. Oh, I just got to have this ride and this clothing and this and these, you know what I'm saying, these jewels, you know what I mean? So sometimes as you go and as you learn, you grow. And it's not a bad thing because you don't want to stay the same. You want to always change. You want to be you, but you want to grow. You want to get more and more in depth in who you are and your purpose as you find it. You know, I heard a man say that he told me this before I got out of prison. He said, "Son, I want you to live like you're going to die tomorrow, but I want you to learn like you're going to live forever." And it hit me. I was like, man, I get it. And being out here, it really, really hit me because what he was saying is we have to take care of ourselves. We have to um, be concerned about certain things that we got going on right now with this virus and this pandemic and stuff. So we have to be concerned and we have to be aware. But we also, you know, we have to constantly learn because it's going to be something else. And our kids, our kids going to still be here. So we still got to plant seeds for them. We can't just live for us. We can't just live for that moment. You know what I mean? So you have to have a balance. Sometimes you have people, they're going to be all the way to the left. They extreme this way or they extreme that way or they just silent, but no one just keep a proper balance. And to me personally, man, I feel more assertive. You know what I mean? I feel more like um, I know when to be aggressive and get more aggressive if need be to stand my grounds. I know when to keep my peace, be passive and just, you know, let it go. But at the same time, you have to know how to maintain and keep it still and be assertive. So I want to say something that hit me this morning before I let y'all go. Um, while I was working, man, and you know when Noah in the Old Testament, when Noah was building the ark, and he just started building it. You know, he just jumped on. Okay, God talked to him at first. He was going back and forth. He like, you know what, I'm gonna go and do this. As he going, to people looking at him, coming back. Man, what you doing? Man, I'm building this for this. Man, that ain't rain. Well, what are you talking about? Rain? You know, they just laughed at him. He building. Man, look at this dude. So it just let me know sometimes you're gonna build things and the perception of those around you sometimes are gonna think that what you're doing is in vain. Oh, what are you doing that for? Why are you doing this? Ain't nobody gonna listen. They ain't gonna listen to you. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just have to keep building because you got this vision. You was given a purpose. So you just keep doing it. And you'll be surprised as Noah got along with the ark, he started getting hands, you know, close into the middle. People start coming on and he started gathering things and they started seeing it. And then he gave a call. And then, you know, you got those that, oh nah, he ain't on nothing. Then you close the door. Once the door of the ark is closed, then they on the outside, they say, let me get in. I can't let you get in right now. We gone. Unless you can get up here some type of way, I don't know what I can do. You see what I'm saying? So that's the same way with building what you're doing. It's going to be people that's going to believe, that's going to go on and come on. They might didn't believe at first, but they seen your dedication. They seen your discipline. They seen that, hey, regardless of what the situation was, rain, sleet, or snow, you was out here building, cutting, figuring it out, got your hand on your head, sweating, going on it, trying to figure it out. It's regardless, you never gave up. And sometimes it takes that to gain the momentum you need and the attention you need from those who really need the information you got to offer. Those who really need to see an example to help them kick and gear their life off to a different aspect, or they need to see you do this because they've been burnt several times by people who said, "Oh, I got this and this." These angel tree investor people, you know, they want you to come help them, and they ain't did nothing. They ain't started nothing. They ain't built nothing. They ain't lost no money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, how much money have you lost? I don't even look at how much money you invest because when you're doing business, you're gonna lose money. Just gone. It's just what it is. So when you building, you know, it's one thing to brag, but what about what you done lost? Because you got to go through a lot. You're gonna lose a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I just want to thank everybody. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a lot of people that's in my corner. I feel physically, you know, that I really, you know, just you know, hold on to. But I do have a small few, you know, a handful. And for those, I'm very appreciative. I'm very appreciative for those who share, for those who leave comments, for those who encourage, because I can't tell you how at times it helps me. You see what I'm saying? Like I get to times where I be like, man, you know what? I'm done. You know what I mean? And then I get something like, dang, I just got. But you know what? That's the journey, though. I get it because even Jonah, for instance, Jonah had a mission, and he said, "Man, these folks ain't gonna listen to me." Went decided to go his own way. Got swallowed by the whale. Got spit out. Went and gone and did it. The people didn't want to listen. He got mad. Left. Got mad again at God. You know what I mean? So it just shows you that we are human. We're gonna make mistakes, but the goal is to have a heart of forgiveness, a heart of change, um, a heart of God, to be humble, to be spiritual. You know, I'm not into the religion, but to have a spiritual relationship with your creator, you know. And I think that that helps you when you deal with other people. Because if you look at your creator and you look at yourself in the mirror, no one got to tell you you flawed because you know you flawed. You know your past. You know your idiosyncrasies. You know the things that about you that don't nobody else. You don't even want nobody to know. You know what I'm saying? But when you dressed up and looking good, you look like, oh yes, yes, yes. He's like this. But you know you. So if you know you, then that should let you know that other people are like you, flawed, scarred, hurt, bruised, survivors. You see what I'm saying? So that should help you be more humble when you're dealing with people. And some people are blind. You know, you got to remember, this life is kind of like the Matrix. Some of us are woke and inside of the Matrix. We see what's going on, and others are tied into it, sleep. And if you wake them up and pull them out and try to tell them what's really going on, they're gonna want to go back into that. You see what I'm saying? Because all they know is that they haven't been woke, or they don't want to wake up. So I think that's the part where a lot of brothers and sisters get discouraged with their messages, because they be want to give it out, and ain't nobody listening, or people reject it or say this, and then they say, well, I'm done. But I feel like if you was doing it for that, then you was really doing it for the people. But you have to do it from the heart. I'm doing it because I just believe in getting my hog on. That's a lifestyle for me. And since I didn't have the example, and I was searching and looking and trying to find someone to guide me when I was really needing it, I was like, you know what? Once I get it, I'm gonna give it out. I'm gonna give it out without asking for permission to do it. They might find it, stumble across it in the archive somewhere that somebody else shared it, like, oh man, I needed this. I don't know. But one thing I do know is that I got a purpose, just like you got a purpose. And I want to live it out to the best of my abilities, like to the best of my abilities. So while I'm out here getting my hog on, I couldn't do it without y'all, without my family, without my loved ones, without my fans, without my supporters, without those that say, hey man, I appreciate what you're doing. Hey man, here go this. Hey man, pat on the back. Hey man, let me feed you when you come here. I this, just showing love, just keeping a community of love. You know what I mean? And to me, that's what it's all about. Like thumbs down, thumbs down. And it seems like sometimes people have an issue of a black man speaking about black issues and not trying to uh, promote promote anybody, or trying to sell anyone out. I just lost my light. Give me a second. Not trying to promote anyone or sell anyone out. My light just went out. Give me a second. But yeah, the crazy thing is that they would want to water us down. You know what I mean? Especially someone that's cultured. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm over exaggerated, but I am black. Like I've been neglected. I didn't felt it from different ends. I didn't been denied. I didn't been like I didn't seen the racism in all type of forms. You know what I'm saying? So it's easier for someone who's a American white person to say that you should get over that. It's not like this because you don't experience it. You know what I mean? You don't even know what it's like. You know what I mean? Like I think that should be a trial to go into a body and actually see what it's like, and then get out and be like, oh, okay, I get what you're saying, because you can't just say some of the things they say is like unreal. I ain't gonna lie to you. And that's something that irritated me today too, about people having an issue with you saying things about black issues, or you saying talking black or you being black. Like, man, it's okay to say black power, because it don't mean black power doesn't mean um I'm having power over another people, another race of people. That means our people are powerful. We're powerful within ourselves. We have our own strength, our own money, our own government. That's what that means. It don't have nothing to do with um our race is better than your race. That ain't what that mean. When I say black power, that ain't what that mean. That means, hey, I'm with us. You know what I mean? And by being for us, I'm knowing that we from him and everybody is from us. So those my brothers too. These my sisters too, regardless of how I look at it. But just like Christ said, I gotta come to deliver this meal to my people. And if they reject it, I got to give it to the dogs. We're not finna let the meal go to waste. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is the age, especially for us to just be proud to just be who you are, not to be oversaturated. Like, you know how they people used to say, we used to say they got people in prison. You say, oh man, here go one of them Bible thumpers. Everything, every conversation, anything that come out their mouth is about God, about this and this, even though they don't even think, but they want you to believe that this is how they feel 24/7, every day, 24 hours. This is how it is. And it's a lie. Then later you find out some stuff that you like, really? So I ain't with all that, me personally. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be real 100 as far as how I feel. I don't preach hate. I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? But I do preach love and most definitely unity with our black people. And me being from where I'm from, I didn't seen it. Like I have witnessed it, like on so many levels. I can tell you stories that'll blow your mind, but you know what? I survived it, and it is what it is. But one thing, I'm not naive, and I know that if we're going to get somewhere, we're going to have to get there together as a people. We're going to have to get stronger because it's going to take finances. It's going to take us developing businesses, getting ideas and having our own branches and having our own development, having our own finances to be financially free and to break chains in America for our people. I know that's what we're gonna have to do. You know what I mean? We need to, honestly, I think the best thing with the school thing should encourage a lot to homeschool their kids or to get their kids in better programs. You know how many teachers that's not really working, that's black, that's very intelligent, that would love to have a few classes that they could take up to 5 to 10 kids, and you can give them so much a week that could be better than going to school, and they can help really educate these kids, on a personal level. Now is the time for that. The tutors, you know what I mean? Now is the time for us to start educating now, because me personally, just as a black man, I never understood why would we get our education from someone who told us that we couldn't be educated. Now it's okay. So I know it's gonna be some BS in this information that I'm getting. I know it ain't gonna be authentic. I know it ain't gonna be real and just for me. And if you look at it, it's made the system. If you listen to the school system, if you listen to the colleges and the way everything is set up, you'll realize all it's doing is putting you right back in chains. Right back in chains. In order to be free in America, you got to have businesses. You got to be LLCs, companies, corporations. That's how you're gonna have freedom in America. We gotta own something. Not only land, you got to own real estate. You gotta own something. And you most definitely want to own you. You know what I mean? You don't want to me, I think it's too late in the culture and in history right now for us to steady be like not owning who we are, like going to a job and knowing deep inside that you really want to do something but you scared to learn. Now it's time to go on and learn what you need to learn and go and make that leap of faith. I don't never tell nobody to close one door without making sure you got a good stable door that's open. You know what I mean? Yes, for our kids, yes, black history, yes. Like now, it's so many black teachers, so many black educated males and women that can get 4 to 6 kids to eight kids to 10 kids, whatever, a small thing, and we can be able to start helping them grow their independent businesses. We teaching our kids some actually black history and some financial wealth, the things that the school is not going to teach them. The school is not going to teach us how to be entrepreneurs. It's not going to teach us how to start business in LLCs. It ain't going to teach us how to hold companies and how to get stock. It ain't going to teach us how to do dividends and how to and do shares. It ain't going to teach us that. We gonna have to teach us that. And now I think with all what's going on, it's the time to teach us that because our kids need to know that. When my son around, every chance I get, I let him, because I don't see him that much, I let him play and have his thing, but every chance I get, I bring him, I teach him something. I give him something new, help him do something, give him some work ethics, help him, make him sweat, because that's part of it. Getting his hands dirty, talking to him, answering questions, because I think that if we don't start getting engaged, more engaged, then sitting there throwing our kids in front of a TV is not going to get it, man. They're going to be messed up. We letting look what the TV is like. I remember when the TV didn't even like back in the 80s and early 90s, you didn't even hear a cuss word on the TV. Now some of the stuff I hear, I'll be like, man, is this TV? I look again. This is on regular TV. Like I'm like, wow, man, think about it. You gonna let that raise your kids? So sometimes we have to be able to just wake up, man. I'm just talking right now, getting some things off my chest. I'm just venting a little bit. Had a moment. I'm on my little lunch break right now because, like I said, I've been out there working and sweating and a little frustrated. But I wanted to come through and just thank everybody for supporting. You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lie, y'all help me keep moving. I mean, a lot of times it's motivation. The HogOn thing is sometimes how they say that we are our brother's keeper. We are, and you be surprised how it's not really what you say to your brother, but it's what you do in front of your brother. That example that can encourage him. You ain't got to say nothing. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of times I'm encouraged by people, and I respect people that I don't even talk to. But I respect them and I follow them. You know what I mean? And I share stuff, and I'm like, man, I like that. It gives me ideas. I think that's what we should do. Iron sharpens iron, right? And I believe as a black culture, we have a lot of iron in our blood. You know what I mean? Think about it. Yes, yes, yes. Knowledge is salute, salute. And like I say, man, as a black culture, I just feel like we have a lot of iron in our blood. I say that because people like to say the melanin in the skin is the darkness, but think of this: carbon from the earth. There's enough metal in every human being's blood to form one nail. So if you are healthy, you should be able to have enough metal in your system to form one nail because we are from the earth. Metal is from the earth, right? So if we are black and we have more iron, more carbon, I'm gonna say, in our system to make our skin darker. But what else do it does? You know what metal is? Metal is strong. Have you tried to just get a piece of half-inch plate and break it? You ain't gonna. It don't. It don't happen. So just think about this. It's just something that I have accepted. The carbon in our blood makes us strong, and when we tackle something mentally, we obtain it. Think of the black man who created the internet. And I don't know if you knew that or not, but it was a black man that created the internet. Think of the think of the people that exercise their strength in these sports, in boxing, just in different things, because we have more iron, we have more carbon, which just the hit is stronger, the the run is faster. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. It ain't saying that we superior, because I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that we got carbon, that we are from the earth. Our blood, our tone, our structure. We just certain things about us that I'm realizing as I get older, as a black man, as a 40-year-old black man. And one thing too that I just want to share: I don't eat meat. I haven't ate any type of meat in 20 years, at least 20 years. But I do eat fish. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm a pescatarian. I eat fish and vegetables, and I've been working on different ways of tweaking my habit, but haven't tweaking my the way I eat. But I didn't figure it out that I stay more healthy and I stay away from certain things by grilling a lot of food and baking a lot of food, and by staying away from certain things, just me personally. My family, our families are full with different, health issues as we grow older. So what I try to do is I try to separate myself from certain things to stay healthier and keep me out the hospital. I don't like to go to the hospital, you know what I mean? So I just try to stay in. For me to be 40 years old and, I feel good, what I mean? I'm not all broke down. God has blessed me. I don't look my age, I don't feel. And so I feel like there are certain foods, certain diets for each culture of people. Depends on where they stay, their environment. And there's nothing wrong of trying different cultures' food, but you need to kind of know what's good for your body. what type of beans, what type of rice, what is good for you. And then you're probably, if you're, once you just try it for a while, you'll start realizing how certain foods on a continual basis that's not meant for our bodies can cause our bodies damage. It's just some knowledge, you know what I mean? And I'm only saying this because of things that I have studied myself on a personal note. I've read, I've studied, and I do it. So, I eat fish and vegetables. I enjoy it. I enjoy eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I just ate one. Probably had me one more. I do simple stuff. You know what I mean? Like I love the grill though. I got a Weber grill. I love the grill because I'm gonna tell you one thing that I learned about this grill before I let y'all go. When you grill things, that the impurities from your meats or your fish or whatever, it falls to the bottom, right? It kind of falls out, so it leaves more of the pure base at the top. And and long as you season it right, But just think, if you're cooking in a skillet all the time, different grease and different other things, all of that, those impurities that actually should fall out, is actually simmering inside the meat. And we was like, so, oh, that gives the taste. Let's give it this, but then that gives you diabetes. It gives you high blood pressure. It gives you all these other things because it kind of sits in there. So I think since we only got one body, we got to take care of it just a little bit. You know what I mean? Just like, we can't trade the body in like we trade a car in. Man, I'm tired of this car, man. I had 3 years, 5 years. Now I want something new. Now, if you want a new body, you're going to have to go work out. You're going to have to get some discipline, or people have surgery, but I don't believe in that unless it's something happened physically to me, that could be fixed, but to each his own. Don't judge anybody. Let everybody do their thing. But I just feel like we're going to have to just work certain things out. And me personally, that's what I do. That's just what I do. And so when some people ask me, man, why you look like this, man, you still look, I even have cousins who I see that visit, and they're in their 20s, late 20s, and early 30s, and they be like, man, you look good, man. I used to, I'm still looking at you like, man, I know you way older than me, and you still looking like you my age, and I remember when you was, I said, that's just the way I take care of myself, and just certain things you do, So everybody got their own thing. All I'm just saying, just kind of keep your health, your your eating habits, keep those, try to stay conscious of those things, and just try to learn something, especially if you black, try to learn some things about what our people eat, just from different cultures, because different cultures ate different things. And I missed a couple messages before I go. I want to make sure I see everything. Most definitely, I appreciate it. Just wanted to say I appreciate everybody. Like I say, man, I just wanted to come through, man. Today I was a little frustrated on my little break. Wanted to talk a little bit, man. Wanted to thank everybody because, you know, I just remembered when times, sometimes you have to remember. I remember David saying something. I'm going to say this before I leave. David said when he was in the midst of what he was going through, he had to remember because he was in despair. He was in the midst, and it seems like it wasn't no hope. His back against the wall. The enemy, I think it was Saul, that was inside of the inside of the mountain, or inside of the cave that they was in, and he had to be quiet. And the enemy is right there, and he was in a situation where he was like, God, you're gonna have to show me. So sometimes it takes those situations where you feel like you hopeless to actually remember, like, man, I remember when I was fighting Goliath. I remember when I was killing the bear. You see what I'm saying? I remember when I was doing this. So sometimes we have to go back and remember in the midst of our despair, because sometimes, we get sidetracked, we life hit us, and we like, how we gonna make it, when we just had a great victory. And here comes a situation where you feel like you got thrown in the towel. You feel like life is too hard, because it's just crazy how the body works. It's crazy how the mind works. So we have to remember, and that's what he said he did. In the midst of that, he remembered that he had just survived something that he thought he wasn't going to survive. And in life, we're going to always have those moments that we're going to think that we won't survive. We are going to survive, but we're going to think like, man, how am I going to get through those moments? And it hit me. I had to remember what I survived. I had to remember who helped me survive. I had to remember the kind words. I had to remember the love, the support. I had to remember that. And I said, you know what? I want to make sure today I thank everybody. So I want to do this on a public note, live, just to thank everybody, my family, my friends, my loved ones, my fans, my supporters, all those who get their hog on with me. I appreciate it because times I have thought about, forget it, but I keep going, because it's an example, it's a lifestyle. So as long as you live, you can't never say I'm gonna take my own life. Just keep going. Keep getting your hog on until it's time for you to check out this thing. When it say, hey, you done did all you can do, and it's time for you to go. Until then, we just gotta keep getting our hog on. Black Phoenix, I'm out. Y'all be blessed.